state is I've been in Borno State a couple of times, and I've been to a couple of IDP camps. In fact, when I was writing my project for my MSc, my project supervisor insisted that all of my pictures must be real and original. So I had to travel all the way and I saw IDP camps without perimeter fences, IDP camps without toilets. You see grown-up girls bathing outside in the public, broad daylight. I mean, you look at the sanitary situation of some of those IDP camps that are really deplorable, and you tell yourself, it is really unfair, for somebody to be a Nigerian and then you are internally displaced in your own country. It's not like we're in a situation of war. It's just some people that have chosen to take arms against the states, want to create a government within a government. But it's quite unfortunate. And yet again, in Kaduna, just on the eve of the International Women's Day, where the girl child is being celebrated all around the world, women are being celebrated for their wins, for swimming against the tide, for, leading the charge for nation development all around the world. The quiet town of Kaduna was also besieged by the evil men, however English you want to call them, whatever nomenclature you choose to give them. Just like the wife of Mr. President said that whoever it is that kidnaps kids, children, we saw it in Ekiti State, and now we've seen it again everywhere. Well, Sɪᴛᴜᴛ would help us understand some of these things. There's a conspiracy around if there's an agenda. I mean, there was a statement reportedly credited to the spokesperson of Mr. President, or maybe from the presidency, saying that, hey, it's an agenda from this so and so place. Sɪᴛᴜᴛ would help us understand some of those things. We'll also look at the allegations of padding for the 2024 budget. Remember, it started out with a 27.5 and the House of Representatives, and the push-up was explained that there's going to start in January. We didn't hear anything in January, February. Now people are also asking that they should be included. Well, but we're not going to focus on the student loan today. A lot of members of the House have expressed, not so much, a bit of pessimism about the possibility of the student loan, but the presidency is going on, and even I've spoken with a couple of lawyers, especially the constitutionality of maybe some people being disqualified from that process, from participating in that student loan. But all of that will probably be a topic for another day. Let's just be hopeful that maybe Thursday this week we'll see what the presidency wants to do with the flag off. But today on the show we're looking at the allegations of padding on the 2024 budget. Now, away from politics, in our individual lives, I've always told people that you can be negligent with a lot of things, you can be nonchalant with a lot of things, but when it comes to anything that involves money, public funds, monies that are not yours, that are kept in your custody, and that's exactly what we do with our budget or with the monetary policies of this country in the hands of the political elites. It is not for them to tell us what they want to do. It is for us to tell them what we want them to do, because they are being paid with the tax that we pay. It's as simple as that. Well, Sɪᴛᴜᴛ, I decided to put you online so that you listen to the line of thought that the show would take today. We had a conversation earlier in the morning, and you gave me a lot of things to really ponder on. We'll focus on all of that today. Good evening, Sɪᴛᴜᴛ. Thank you for joining me on the show today.
Good evening and happy new beginning to all of us.
It's always a new beginning. A couple of days ago, we celebrated International Women's Day, and yet again, the preaching of inclusiveness in policy making, and you being the executive director of the civil society organizations covering a lot of interest groups and NGOs. I remember you represented the CSOs and the CLOs at the last national conference that we had under the administration of former President Goodluck Jonathan. Let's talk about quickly the issue of inclusivity in governance. I'm not even talking about the 30% now. I'm just talking about politics generally. In 2019, the numbers went down. We had fewer senators, we had fewer House of Reps members, we had fewer House of Assembly members that are women. And the aforementioned policy had also not necessarily been domesticated in some of the states. What would you think are still the major challenges that we face? Look at some big countries in the world. They are sliding into the conversation.
and your daughter to other people's girl. And some of the challenge is societal, and then secondly, everybody there have those type of governor. So a great number of the primaries were knocked out and railing by government at the national level.
And supporting women.
Inclusion are different. Yeah, did not get it credibly. The inclusions about and if you go down the state, there are credible people, women that have come up. The problem we have also have in that representative children. And when you bring them to the public space, the best thing we do is to liquidate this place and bring also other platform, other parts. So I think the lesson program that we endure with the right mobilization. Many women at the for them have also the increase. And these are centric men that don't have idea, that don't know that there's a future for their girl child, that don't know that if they die today, their grandmother can suffer or their wife can suffer as you do. But we must give it that we're moving somewhere, and this is why we must celebrate the women that have the right sense, that have the right image, that have the right capacity. So in opening up the space, let's build their capacity, let's invest in them, and make the best progress for societal level. We need to celebrate themselves.
With the positive energy about issues, the issues back home, like they always say, some communities that the roles of the women are absolutely defined, or you can't do this, you can't do that. Yes, we'll grow through this, and not neglecting our culture, but we'll also allow the woman that wants to aspire to the very best, from that point of view. Now let's get straight up into it. Are you still with me?
Absolutely.
Okay. Maybe let's talk about the security issue. Monitored, some of the programs, a couple of the central mosques around, the one in Abuja, the one in Kaduna, even the one in Nas. Today is the first day of the fast, and I really pray that the period would be a moment of sober reflection, and it also bring us closer to achieving everything we want in life. Ramadan Kareem to every one of you. But let's get into it. Comrade Steve Aluko. According to the constitution of the country, I will said it a million times, the principal responsibility of every government is to protect the lives and the properties of the people, whether they voted into office or they don't vote into office, whether they are your tribe or your religion. As long as you cover them, you are saddled with the responsibility of protecting them. Again, about the firewood in Kaduna again, some of the parents had to come out and say, how many about human beings? And so it's not even a movement that could be done on motorbike or maybe done on canoe and all of that. Comrade Steve Aluko, are we back to that space where there's an agenda around the insecurity challenges of this country? Maybe you want to quickly make reference to the way the Chibok girl started. Let's start from there.
Let's get it clear. Whether we like it or not, until we rejiggle the security architecture in this state, we're going to have some of these unfortunate incidents in the increase, or on the increase, if I would say so. And if care is not taken, I look forward to a day that they will kidnap a governor or even the president of this country. Why am I saying so? This is how the Afghanistan experience started, until they close up on the state house and run the president out of the corner. I'm not schooling the entirety in terms of no fence, no demarcation, no facility, no security, and the rest of it. And that itself makes these children most vulnerable. And then you go to the IDP camp, the same thing. Like you have painted the earlier picture, no security for them, no empathy for them, no even trauma healing process for them. There's no even plan for what the World Bank will call durable settlement and resettlement. There's no plan for that. So in most cases, these people become more vulnerable even in the IDP camp. I met a colleague of mine who want to mention her name on the air. She lose her appointment with NACA because she wrote report that in some of the camp in the same northeast, but not to be specific, that people were trading sex for food, officials and the military, let me say this. And because of that, she was asked to expunge that from the report, and she refused. And because of that, that is how she lost I just met her about 3 weeks ago. What am I saying? There is no agenda for proper conducive environment for the internally displaced people in whatever camp you have it in Nigeria. The same thing goes to the school. When you don't have policy that will secure life and property, either outside school or within the school and IDP, that is exactly what you happen. You said the number. My brother, let me tell you, when government do not have a welfare risk program for people in IDP, people were left to fend for themselves. And these days that the cost of gas is very high and the rest, people will definitely migrate in large number to go and get firewood so that they'll be able to eat. You need to visit some of these camps. The women are most vulnerable. The girl child, the girl boy are most vulnerable. There's no security for anybody. So on issue of security, until we change the mentality, the psychology of security in this country, of securing Murtala Mohammed Airport in Lagos to Abuja Airport, Aᴅᴇɪᴇᴍ Airport in Lagos, and you secure the road to Abuja, until the rural area, because most of these IDP camps and some of these schools that are victim already, they are located where in most cases are far from where they can be secure, and because there's no program to secure them, you get to that. And then you come to the issue of education. Has the government been able to use its own structure, National Orientation Agency and other agencies to educate people on what they should do when there are problems like that? Absolutely not. You need to educate people to be able to identify terrorists or kidnappers or bandits and what should be their right response. Like you said, people are being ferried into car. Parents saw them and they did not know what is going on. So it is very, very important that we get this clear. That it is because government, not just this government, of course, it's part of the government. Government from 1999 till date have failed in protecting our schools, in making sure that the regulatory framework to create conducive atmosphere is not there. And secondly, in every state now, including Lagos where we are, there are places that have become ungovernable area, or they call it ungovernable center, where criminality, drug abuse, prostitution, and all shades of criminality have taken hold. When you have those type of centers, these are people that can be used either as miscreants or as thugs or as bandits to perpetrate this evil. So if you put all this together, the government cannot exonerate itself. And coming to this overgeneralization template that is against people in the South, it's not. Many of the kidnaps of girl child that have happened in the North, I can tell you that 40% is only what you are hearing. If you hear 60%, you will run away. Because people are no longer safe in their houses, people are no longer safe in their community, people are no longer safe in their worship center, either in the church or in the mosque. So these are the issues. So I am telling you that this one has just happened. Unfortunately, it was a targeted point. Get it at this point so that you attract international attention. But let's ask ourselves genuinely, have our government done the needful? My answer is no. Because if you look at the scripture, the book of Mark chapter 3 verse 27 says something. He said, if a strong man rightly guide his house and protect his house, the thief will not be able to come. And that when the thief comes, he must have overcome the strong man before he can spoil either his palaces or spoil his loot. That is fundamental point. Our government at all levels, from local government, state and federal government, have not done the needful to secure Nigerians within the borders of Nigeria, have not done enough to secure the people in the rural area. In fact, they have contributed in making them more vulnerable than ever before. In the name of poverty, lack of security architecture, and all sorts of things. You now graduate from that point, you come to the religious center. Has our religious leader done the needful to also secure their followers? My answer is also zero. Many churches are built where they are not supposed to be built, and even when they are built there, there's no enough parking space, there's no enough security gadgets. Churches should have also employed, apart from their ushers, get other people that are professional and experts in this area. Not that God cannot protect us. If you read the book of Nehemiah very well, when he heard about the plan of Tobiah and Sanballat, they were able to raise army that were building and army that were also defending. and ask the religious leader where have you gone. You go to the Muslim, the same thing. So if our religious leaders have also done the needful, we will not be vulnerable like this. And then you go to the education. Most of the educational institutions that we have in the north, many of them are as good as, what will I call it, maybe a dump site, where there are no facilities for good education, there are no facilities to protect the students, there are no facilities to protect the people. Because when we are talking about education, we are also looking at both the formal center and the informal center. Alimajiris were being picked in some states, Christian people are being picked in some states, and the rest of it. So if you put all this together, it's a failure of the system of government to protect this country. It's a failure on the part of the government that make promises they are going to protect life and property and sworn and oath without using the Bible and Quran and refuse to fail. But Nigeria must hold them accountable. We must not allow this story to be like that of Chibok girl. The Chibok girl was unfortunate, and whoever is celebrating Jonathan, you should ask yourself, if it was Jonathan's children that were picked, will it take him 18 days to agree that children were picked up? You will recall that it took even Malala that came down from Afghanistan or so, for Jonathan to even realize that there was kidnapping. And this same sentiment of saying it's not trying to provide something against the government, it doesn't hold. Are there not kidnapping taking place in Lagos? Are there not kidnapping taking place in Oyo State, in Osun State, in Orewa? The most important thing is that we must be able to isolate this as a national problem and tackle it nationally. It's happening in the north now. I can tell you it has happened in Lagos before. I forgot alarm security men in Lagos to do the needful about this Thomas security, which has become law. It's a matter of time, because what is not South that school leaders across all the, there's no within the Yoruba people, Yoruba. So it's very, very important on the toes of the management. Otherwise, all of us are potential victims, either on the way or even inside our houses or inside the hospital. They will soon go to hospital. Now they've gone to the school, they will soon go to the hospital. So it's very important that we hold government accountable. Either it's a Yoruba man or it's an Igbo man or an Hausa man. His responsibility now is to secure life and property and let them do the needful. And let all the IDP center and the internally displaced center be well secure, be well provided for, and as soon as possible reconcile them back to their place of abode and make sure they are secure in that places. Not all this news that we are hearing here. People are asking the farmers to pay to go to farm, to pay to harvest their crop. It's the essence of governance, and the essence of the presidential system of governance is for you to be able to protect people and allay their fear. And Tinubu cannot excuse himself. Just the same way Jonathan could not excuse himself, so the same way Buhari could not excuse himself. Tinubu is there today, Emilokan. The Emilokan now should show that it's different by making sure that Nigerians are secure wherever they choose to reside, either in Nigeria or outside Nigeria. Anything short of that, he himself is recently we had a match sheik that said the first lady should be killed. And I wonder why the DSS did not pick that man. This is part of what is emboldening evil in this country. When somebody said something wrong, I'm not saying this because it's Remy, the president.
I understand.
Any religious leader, any criminal element using religion or anything to promote evil, he should be picked up. What did we see of that man? Have you heard DSS have arrested him? But let there be genuine protest. DSS will move, police will move. These are some of the things that is emboldening evil and criminality in this country. And justice is very important. Justice must serve judgment. Judgment must serve justice. Absent of this is offensive criminality, and it doesn't know state house, it doesn't know the village. It's coming gradually. It's hitting Abuja and it's coming to government houses, except they learn to do the right thing now. It's very, very important. Why am I anchoring on government? If you look at the scripture also, the book of 1 Samuel chapter 30, verse 6, when David went on the war that God did not send him, and before he came back, they attacked his children and his wife. What did he do? He encouraged himself, and pick the courage and pursue after them, overtook them and recover all. It's not enough for president or any security people to be telling us, you know where the boys are or the girls are. Do the needful to rescue them now. Are you waiting until after they have sexually harassed and molested those boys, their own girls, before you bring them out? Do what David did in the Bible. He went to war and he was able to recover his wife. So there must be a recovery plan. And part of the recovery plan should start now, not counting days. We're talking about the north now. What about the one that happened to couples that were going to Bayelsa or so? That up till now,
they've not been rescued.
What?
I said they've not been rescued.
They've not been rescued. So all these people play sentiment of religion and ethnicity. He is coming to adults because the Bible says, whatsoever a man soweth, that he will reap. If you encourage evil and you call darkness light, the Bible says, woe to you. If you call darkness light and call light darkness, the Bible says, woe to you. In a matter of time, instead of us, all of us to come out across all religions, across ethnic faith, and ask government to do the needful, and support government to do the needful, and they're coming to the north. Very, very regrettable. Where I'm not disappointed. A great number of the northern elites are part of the problem. Look at what happened. It took them how many days to even issue ordinary statements? Why can't they organize themselves? Why can't they mobilize themselves and educate their people so before they are liquidated? People are reading sentiment to it. The North is paying for the injustices they have brought upon their people, the poverty they have promoted upon their people. I'm not saying we should justify it, but the North must also wake up and be in the forefront of those that will come out. That's why you may not like everything about Sanusi, the former emir of Kano. The last bomb explosion in Kano, what did he do? He mobilized everybody and mobilized the traditional security people and tell them that it must not happen in your domain. And if not, Kano will have been a center of epic for destruction of life and property. I'm telling you, everybody must be involved in this process, but the government must take the lead. It's not enough flying everywhere. Sit down and do the needful. If the national security advisor cannot do, sack him. If the chief of staff of all the security cannot, sack them. It's not tenure bound. Anybody that is not ready to work, sack them and bring those that are ready to. And if you need to get external support, why not?
Ask.
If other countries are doing it, why can't we do it?
Comrade Steve Aluko, thank you very much. It looks like we're just going to stick with the issue of the security today. We'll move the issue of budget padding till maybe tomorrow when Barrister Atta joins me on the show. But you raised some really key issue in this lengthy line of thoughts that you expressed. First off, is the regionalization of these security challenges. Some people would say, oh, it's a northern problem, let them deal with it. Oh, Lagos is safe. Oh, Ekiti is safe. Oh, but we've seen reported cases of kidnappings in Ekiti. Traditional rulers were killed, school children were kidnapped in Ondo State before the late governor. Pockets of report. As long as we let all of these things in zones or in regions, how bad will it take us?
Well, it will take us from the good. I watched one film when I was growing up, the good, the bad, and the ugly. If we don't want an ugliest situation, it's the time to act. And I've also traveled around this country, and I beg to deviate from other people's perception. There's no section of this country that cannot give you the very best. Put down the template. Don't compromise the template. We can have service chiefs that go around all the zone of people that merited it. Because even when you micro zone it to your own people, they are not even the people that deserve it. We've seen in this country where hundreds of generals were forced into retirement just to get one person. We've seen it at the Inspector General Police appointment. You force people out of it, even people that are not tired, you force them into forceful retirement. It's only this country that will waste our general. In other countries, they protect their generals and make sure that in time like this, they deploy them to make the best use of them. So I'm saying in essence that if you have the right template, and like our affirmative action did say in our constitution, it provides for federal character. It also provides for affirmative action, what the quota system and the rest. It is the abuse of those systems that is faulty. If you put in place a template, I'm telling you that you can have an Igbo man, you can have an Hausa man, you can have anybody that merits you to govern that space, because it also helps. Because it helps people to understand the language, the body, people are able to analyze security situation and rightly deploy troops at the right time, so that at the end of the day you are able to match some of these points together. But let me also go this way and say that either we like it or not, from the experience we have seen of what have become of Amotekun in the Southwest, you may have your misgivings, but you cannot take it away that they've been able to also marshal out some criminal elements out of the forest. It goes to tell you that in international relations, they call it balance of terror or collective security. So we also need an architect like that at the zonal level that will be able to mobilize, build synergy, complement themselves, and make sure that no criminal run from one state to another. It's very, very important. It will help in intelligence gathering, intelligence and analysis, and rightly deployment. The Amotekun is a template that all the zones in this country, if they are serious about protecting life and property, they must have it. And then you go to the state level, we must have it. You go to the local government level, at the community level, we must be able to have it, so that we are able to provide individuals as they come into the environment and know whether they are criminal element or not, so that you are able to also handle them and most importantly, we must take over the forest. Because these criminal elements that are kidnapping students, women, or men, whatsoever they are doing, they take them to the forest. And from what we have heard from victims, sometimes they trek 2 days, 3 days before they rest somewhere. We must be able to take over our forest. It's it's scriptural. Part of what God asks us to dominate, the forest is part of it. We must dominate it to the advantage of our people. It's useless having forests that we cannot protect. So that means that Nigeria is most vulnerable. And if you look at one of the reports, we say that Nigeria is among the 10 most porous and most unsecure countries in Africa.
In Africa.
Not even in the world, in Africa.
Yes.
So that means you are comparing us with people that are already totally out of this. But what am I saying? Nigeria have enough resources to build up a security of army across all board. Make sure that we have the well-equipped policing system. We have well-policed and well-equipped army and air force, so that we are able to take the fight to the forest. Make the forest ungovernable, or any place that criminals have taken over. Let's dislodge them from that place, so that at the end of the day, they don't become a security threat to anybody, either in the air or on the land. You recall in Kaduna sometime, the bandits even attempted hijacking plane. They went to the airport there. So what are we saying in essence? You don't wait for this criminal element. Take the fight to them. We see what happened in Central Africa. They took the fight to them, and those people ran away. And I'm telling you, with the right order, with the right environment, we have more than enough human capacity to dislodge these people. That is a fragment of less than 1% of Nigerian population.
Now, maybe in the last few years, there's been constant call for the introduction of, the state police. Yes, a couple of states, around, the country have found a way to establish their own security network, domesticated. There is the Amotekun in some of the southwest states. There's also the neighborhood watch in Lagos. There is Operation Rainbow on the Plateau. There's the Eastern Security Network in a couple of northern states. But how much more do you think we need to do in terms of, a lot of people have raised concerns about establishing the state police. They said it's going to be hijacked. In fact, the governor of Niger State has said that it could lead to tyranny. But put it side by side, just like every policy, it would have its pros and its cons. But from your own point of view, especially with all of these issues that we have, how justifiable is the call for the establishment of the state police against all the odds?
Number one, I want to advise those in government at whatever, they should go and pick the 2014 confab report on security architecture and what needs to be done, if it's doable. And like you rightly said, every policy has its own pros and cons. Either you like it or not, some will attempt it. But the most important thing is putting up a legal framework, a monitoring framework, a review framework that will make sure that whatever system you are putting in place, either in neighborhood, at local government, at state, or at a regional level, is pro people. The missing link is how to make them pro people. And what we have had today is very dangerous. There's no legal framework for some of them, and some of them were just popped up by government to serve the interests of the government. And that is where we get it wrong. Take a holistic approach. Let people sit down and put in place structure that is not accountable to the governor, but it's accountable to the people and to the community. Take for instance, if it's the neighborhood war, it's not accountable to any individual, but credible committee that represent the interests of the people in the neighborhood. You go to the local government level, the same thing. You go to the state level, the same thing. You go to the federal level, the same thing. If you are talking about abuses, have the federal government not abused all the structures of governance? Have they not turned into a structure of misgovernance? It will bring up its own challenge. Other countries are doing it. They've been able to overcome some of the challenges. So as we evolve, we'll be able to overcome some of those challenges. I'm an apostle of deploying and resource. When I'm talking about resource, including security, take it from the center, take it to the region, take it to the state, take it to the local government. In fact, let the local government be the stronger base of security architecture. Then you see that all these problems will run away. And let me just add, the issue of local government autonomy is key. It's central to securing the people. And that is why I love at Lagos State. Instead, they are talking about local government autonomy. Different governors, from the president, the current president, Tinubu till date, all of them will rule against it. Let me tell you, when we have a functional local government system, the people were more secure than this. Because there was role for the traditional ruler to play, there's role for the religious leaders to play, and at the end of the day, every Monday they have security meeting to analyze the security situation and take steps. Some of these things that have emboldened or galvanized themselves as a national outlook start from a micro center. That if it's properly nipped at that point, we will not have some of these national problems as we are saying it. So a functional local government system is key. So that at the end of the day, you know who is your neighbor, you know who is not your neighbor, you know who is friendly and who is not friendly. And whatever security architecture we have at that point, we'll be able to arrest it. And let me tell you, some of these problems like the headers and the pastoral farmers class, in the olden days, it's simple. From even the days of the Bible, you resolve it. Alternative dispute mechanism should be put in place to redress some of these form of injustice, so that somebody know that you cannot raise your cow into somebody's farm, and then you as a farmer, you cannot go and rustle somebody's cow. It is why are we not having ranching? Why are we not practicing? There are good policies that if we have credible people in government and credible system of government, we will need some of these problems. Why should we be allowing people to be pushing cow here and there? The nutritional value is affected, and then if care is not taken, the epidemiology can also come in from that point. Why not do what other countries are doing and get the very best of milk, get the very best for the ranching, and at the end of the day, you are moving forward. Nigeria must move beyond where we have placed ourselves. All the problem we are having is self-inflicted, is self-indicted. So we must wake up as a nation to resolve across all parties. We must be able to come out and say enough is enough. Otherwise, next generation will be in danger. Look at the IDP people. The ones they kidnap now, mothers are part of it, children will be crying. When that child grow up with that trauma, will you stop him from becoming a criminal element?
It's tough.
Many of these IDP centers are criminal future crime center where people can easily go and recruit all sorts of people and use them. You are even talking about that one. What about harvesting of organs? Do you know that in some IDP center, the issue of harvesting of organs are there? Issue of forceful child marriage is there, and many of the things. So it's very, very important that we realize that every sector of this country is as important as we have it in the Constitution. Let's not just have it in the Constitution, and in terms of program and policy, we don't have a program for it. Otherwise, those that are Your Excellency today, very soon they will leave their tenure and they become ordinary citizens. Have you seen the governor of Kogi State of late? Have you seen him in any public forum?
At all.
But when he was governor, he said he was white lion. White lion now is afraid to come out of the zoo. So what we are saying in essence that those in government today, if they don't do the needful, it's a matter of time. this evil that they sow will catch up with them. Every one of them, including their family members, that are flying everywhere and now thinking of how to secure a poor man child, a poor woman, a poor daughter of somebody. It's unfortunate. And the larger implication is that it will make many people to drop out of the educational system. And when people are not well informed, look at the danger of ignorance. Jesus said it. He said, my people perish because of lack of knowledge. And when he's talking about knowledge, he's talking about holistic knowledge. So if people drop out of school because of this threat, in the next 10 years, what becomes of our children? How safe the ones that are going to private university and secondary school today, how safe will they be tomorrow? Even when in Lagos, look at that boy that they just buried not too long ago, where we have school authority that cannot give account of children that are in their custody. It's unfortunate. May God save us in this country.
Comrade Steve Aluko, we'll take a break by 5 o'clock, but we still have about maybe 2-3 minutes to look into these issues. And now, one of the issues that people have raised has been conversation around funding for the establishment of the state police. Some states are still struggling to meet up with the demands of the minimum wage, as little as it is. You know, there's been issues, despite the fact that in the last 9 months, I think this is the largest, allocation that have been shared from the federation account in the last 10 years. That means with the removal of subsidy, there's more money. Do you trust the government to be committed to the neutrality of the state police when or if eventually get established? Let's do this in 2 minutes, then we'll come back after the break.
My brother, let me tell you, any state that's paying less than 30,000 now, the governor of that state is a criminal. Because the governor of that state is not collecting anything short of what other state governors are collecting. So what makes them better than other citizens? And like when I was at the conference, a lot of states came with a demand for state creation. And lots of them were able to prove their resources. It's because we have lazy people in government houses. They are just looking for resource allocation, not resource generation. Governments in this country at all level must move from resource allocation to resource generation. I'm not celebrating what they are getting now. It's not increased. At what cost? At the cost of the life of people? That is why today garri is 1,000 per mutu. That is why today bag of rice is going 100. Because what's supposed to be subsidized is taken away and given to governors. Governors are not accountable to even their family members. How many of them have a functional state assembly that is overseeing what they have? Nigeria should not celebrate any increment. Ask yourself, who is the one you are robbing paper to pay for? You are taking subsidies from the life of the poor people and giving it to some of these people that have been in government since Obasanjo time till date. So let nobody celebrate it. Take that money and subsidize what we subsidize life. Let there be full security. Let people be protected in their house. Let people have functional system of education, functional system of health services. Then you know that you'll be proud to be in Nigeria. So all this increment is what happened in Egypt when they were taxing the Israelites and giving it to Pharaoh. And that's why up to today, Pharaoh is the one owning all the land and the best thing in Egypt. The same thing is happening in Nigeria. Let subsidy come to the people. The problem with subsidy is subsidy management. It's not subsidy. There's no country that doesn't give subsidy, especially when it affects people's life. Promote welfare program, give subsidy. Let fertilizer be subsidized. Let security be subsidized. And let me tell you, anybody that says funding, what happened to the security vote? Can the security vote not be used to enable some of this creation that we are talking?
Comrade Steve Aluko, sorry to hold your thoughts. We need to take a very quick break. I would link you back immediately we're done with the break and also paying the bills. We'll continue this conversation. I know a lot of people want to talk to you, but we need to take care of now so that we can pay some bills after taking the headline news. I'll call you back on the turn of 5 o'clock.
You're listening to Mainland 98.3 FM.
Headline news on 98.3 Mainland FM.
Good evening. Headline news on Mainland 98.3 FM. My name is Omobola Sandra. IGP 𝐴ᴏ reaffirms commitment to security for all during Ramadan. First Lady says Tinubu's renewed hope agenda yielding fruits already. SANU-NASU declares 7-day warning strike over withheld salaries. Serap asks NCC to revoke the directive to block lines. Senate inaugurates ad hoc committee to probe CBN's anchor borrowers, ways and means. On the foreign scene, Hungary inaugurates new head of state. And in sports, Barcelona's Cancelo, wary of Osimhen, other Napoli stars ahead of crucial Champions League decider. That's the headline news on Mainland FM. Details at 5:30.
Clock the time. Rock the groove. It's music extravaganza, where the beat gets hotter. Mainland 98.3.
Yo, what's up?
Baby, let's go. The sound of Lagos. Wait, isn't that an Alte jam?
Yeah, it enter, Abi.
Wait, when did you start jamming Alte? What happened to Afro depression? Like, who put you on?
Oh yeah, dial Sophie's number. Now that's who put me on.
Share your vibe with Hello Tunes from Airtel. Dial *790# to enjoy free trial and pay later.
Airtel, a reason to imagine.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the worrisome increase in the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The FSRCC and NBC hereby advises the general public to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Make sure to verify the licensing status of such companies and schemes on this website. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call 0700 225 5226, 0800 225 5226, or +234 817 665 6273. Let's work together to uphold the integrity of Nigeria's financial system. Announcer, FSRCC.
The drama, the suspense, the emotions, the gang moments. Don't miss out on Nollywood movies and web series on YouTube with the YouTube buffet plan from MTN. You can enjoy over 10 hours of Nollywood content made for you. Sharply dial *312*800# to activate the YouTube buffet plan from MTN and start enjoying YouTube made for you.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the worrisome increase in the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The FSRCC and NBC hereby advises the general public to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Make sure to verify the licensing status of such companies and schemes on this website. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call 0700 225 5226, 0800 225 5226, or +234 817 665 6273. Let's work together to uphold the integrity of Nigeria's financial system. Announcer, FSRCC.
Attention Airtel customers. If your line has been blocked, then this is for you. Head to the nearest Airtel shop with your NIN. Our friendly staff will help you get your line back up and running. Don't let a blocked line keep you out of touch.
Airtel, a reason to imagine.
Broadcast Art Institute Supplementary Admissions 2023-2024. Few vacancies exist in the Department of Broadcast Journalism and Multimedia Technology for admission in the 2023-2024 session. If you scored 100 and above in the 2023-2024 UTME, together with 5 relevant credits, but have not gained admission, you can change over to the Broadcast Art Institute, Lagos, for National Diploma in Broadcast Journalism and Multimedia Technology. The Broadcast Art Institute is accredited by the National Board for Technical Education (NBTE) to offer national diploma programs in broadcast journalism and multimedia technology. You can visit our campus at number 38 Odofi Street, Ibubu, Ikorodu, Lagos, or call the following numbers: 0806 149 9992 or 0703 713 1166 or 0816 587 1415.
The drama, the suspense, the emotions, the gang moments. Don't miss out on Nollywood movies and web series on YouTube with the YouTube buffet plan from MTN. You can enjoy over 10 hours of Nollywood content made for you. Sharply dial *312*800# to activate the YouTube buffet plan from MTN and start enjoying YouTube made for you.
Are you seeking admission into a tertiary institution in Nigeria? Here is a big opportunity for you. The 2022-2023 admission into Eko City Polytechnic is now open. Available courses are Computer Science, Theatre and Media Arts, Mass Communication, Science Laboratory Technology, Electronics Engineering, Accounting, Banking Operations, Business Administration, Multimedia Technology. Qualified students should have scored 100 and above in the last JAMB exam. Facilities at Eko City Polytechnic includes well-equipped studio and laboratories, modern classrooms, innovative workshop, recreation space, and fully functional hostels. Our lecturers and tutors combine both academic and industry experience. Full-time and part-time admission forms are available for the 2022-2023 academic session at the campus Eko City Polytechnic, Plot 100, Alhaji Onilewura Street, Ikotun Egbe, Lagos State. Eko City Polytechnic is approved by JAMB, NBTE, and the Federal Ministry of Education. For more information, please call Moses 091 62 54 0610, Wale 091 62 92 7079, Praise 091 62 69 9996, Adilanwa 081 26 58 0784, or visit our website www.ecocity.edu.ng. Eko City Polytechnic, building industry-ready professionals.
My son, hey, let me check this phone. I don't know wetin junior press. E no dey work again.
Make I see. Mommy,
wetin happen?
They don't block your line now.
Nobody like to chop blocking, no. So if they don't block you unto say you not link your NIN to your Airtel line, run kitty go any Airtel shop with your NIN to unblock your line today.
Airtel, a reason to imagine.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the worrisome increase in the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The FSRCC and NBC hereby advises the general public to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Make sure to verify the licensing status of such companies and schemes on this website. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call 0700 225 5226, 0800 225 5226, or +234 817 665 6273. Let's work together to uphold the integrity of Nigeria's financial system. Announcer, FSRCC.
Attention, Airtel customers. If your line has been blocked, then this is for you. Head to the nearest Airtel shop with your NIN. Our friendly staff will help you get your line back up and running. Don't let a blocked line keep you out of touch.
Airtel,
A reason to imagine.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the worrisome increase in the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The FSRCC and NBC hereby advises the general public to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Make sure to verify the licensing status of such companies and schemes on this website. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call 0700 225 5226, 0800 225 5226, or +234 817 665 6273. Let's work together to uphold the integrity of Nigeria's financial system. Announcer, FSRCC.
The drama, the suspense, the emotions, the gang moments. Don't miss out on Nollywood movies and web series on YouTube with the YouTube buffet plan from MTN. You can enjoy over 10 hours of Nollywood content made for you. Sharply dial *312*800# to activate the YouTube buffet plan from MTN and start enjoying YouTube made for you.
When the airwaves in your market become more and more crowded. It's time to break it open and really stand out. It's here.
Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos.
Okay, thank you very much for still staying with us on Mainland 98.3 FM. By 5:30, the full bulletin will come through, and by 6 o'clock, we'll come around for the Monday edition of Sport Cruise on Mainland 98.3 FM. The African game of that by 6 o'clock. We're back in the Situation Room, and I've been focused majorly on the security challenges that we have in the country. And if you follow the conversation, then you would know clearly that it's been a very engaging one. By the way, we're streaming this program live, and I've got loads of messages on our social media platforms: facebook.com/mainland 98.3 FM, on X, formerly Twitter, it's mainland FM. On Instagram and YouTube, it's mainland 98.3 FM. And don't forget to subscribe to those platforms so that you can, get all our updates, our breaking news, our headline stories, and so much more. And guess what? For programs that you get to miss, you can catch up on the program by watching the recorded version again. So we've got loads on for you on our social media platforms. But we're back with Comrade Steve Aluko, but we're really pressed for time. I decided to put him back so that when we start picking the calls, which you start do show to the Comrade Steve Aluko. Thank you for being patient with us and staying on the line while we're away.
You're welcome.
Governors at different level, and that's the fact.
Yes, the friendly mission that we have. We need urgent solution. When your father was now, don't worry. I will your don't go for the today. If you go to come arrest them, they will tell you to go to that just make a decision. The wife in Nigeria, nothing can touch them.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
The list they send to the former president 400 list of terrorists. Why can't our president release it now? So that the whole nation can deal with them once and for all. If you say no, this is too much.
Mr. Oshogbo, thank you. Thank you very much. Please let's keep our contribution really short. I don't like taking people off the call. Thank you very much. Okay, 091-3600-0410. Comrade Steve Aluko is still on the line with me. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Prince Wise.
Thank you, my dear. I think we need a real solution right now. And the solution now is to come from the president. Because as you see, if you have a meeting with WC, you don't know what is going behind the camera. But this time around, I think we need for a security summit to take place maybe in part of the north on Abuja. Because what is going on? You need the people like former head of state, former president, the governor, the national ruler, religion leader, and the community leader. So provide solution what is going on there now. Because at see, when we talk about security, it is all of them are involved. Some of the problem cases, the bandits, the Bopara, look all these things happen to not. So the best thing to do now is to sit at the table. Because when we say government, so to start today. Number one is the TSS people. Are they working? Because that the people to invite the police, invite the military to where to taking place. For the one we have, are they enough? The police we have, are they enough to police every community, every hamlet, every village? Then we always talk for people like Amateku. When you have something like Amateku, you can't be past this test. That's to employ a lot of them. You must encourage them to go to the booth and feed out these people.
Thank you, Prince Virus. Thank you. Let's just manage the time that we have so that we can take us. Yes, thank you.
Thank you. God bless you.
Okay, thank you very much. That was Prince Virus. Hello, good evening. Hello. Pastor Ambrose, good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
Comrade Aluko, I thank God. Aluko, I greet you. Thank you for standing as the voice for the poor and the voice of the voiceless. I've always listened to you on this program, and I'm always blessed. In fact, when I hear you are coming, I will stay glued to my radio. I had some other things I wanted to do, but the words that you say, they encourage me a lot. Thank you for always bringing me on this program.
Thank you.
I want to ask a question. This, just like Comrade Steve said, this money that they have, you said, is tripled now. What effect is it going to have on the market? Mr. President, like I said, I think it's all about 2027. He's just giving these people money. Why didn't he use that money to go and import agricultural, this fluffy machine and all of those things, and distribute them to each state so that they can have those things to build the ground and all of that? Then make sure also that all this money that is given to them, he looks for how things can be, imported to improve our life so that we can have constant life. That's the best palliative that you can give. And Mr. President, I think during his campaign or before his campaign, said he wants to employ 50 million youth into the military. People were laughing. But for me, I think it's a good idea. Why didn't he do all of this rather than giving all these governors and local governments money that they will share among the chiefs, share among the political people, and that's the end of it. And that's the reason why there is inflation everywhere. I think that this government, they should be more transparent. You are just giving people money. They are not accounting for giving them more.
Thank you, Pastor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm sure we'll continue the conversation. It's always going, and Comrade Steve Aluko is always, on hand to attend to us each time we reach out. Hello, good evening. Hello.
It's Paul from Egbeda.
Okay, Mr. Paul from Egbeda, you're welcome.
Yeah. Okay, and can I solicit or can I beg you for something? We those of us who listen to your programs, we are very conscious.
Mr. Paul, are you there? Okay, I would appreciate if you can call back. More calls before we call it today on the show. Hello, good evening. Hello. Okay. Hello, good evening. Can you hear me? Okay. Let's keep trying. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Okay. Your name and where you joining us from?
This is Olayola.
Okay, Mr. Loyola, you're welcome.
When your guest is trying to talk, I'm trying to ask him a question. The way the political structure, the political elite, and the people that occupy the seat is, the civil service have a rule that the first person that appointment letter come in, they have to be the senior of appointment. Like the way the chief chief service was appointed and police IG was appointed in Nigeria. Most of the presidents from the bank, they appointed the junior officer and they retired the senior officer. Why can they go back to the normal civil service appointment rule? The senior officer, let him occupy the position. Let other generals that are following, let them work with them. This is the issue that I'm saying abuse of office. This is reflecting in most of the states. Like the time that Alex was to take over in Abia State also, he retired most of the permanent secretary and he did the head of civil service, head of the civil service appointment to the director. These are the things that are happening in the common within the state. Let the National Assembly add the law that the most senior officer within the army or soldier or the civil service must occupy the position of the opposition with the position of that number one. Now they are appointing a junior officer. They retire the people that are supposed to contribute their quota to the nation, and you retire them, and those people are not going to be relevant in the country again for the rest of their days. This is the problem we are facing, and those people are going back to go and train all these militants to attack the community. That is the problem.
Thank you.
All these insecurity that you are seeing today, all those people that are forcefully retired, these are the people that are come back to come and attack our nation.
Okay, Mr. Lawola, that's a very big one there. I think this should be the last call I'll pick on the show today because I need to read a lot of messages as well. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, friend.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. And let me appreciate your guest first. Yes, because we made mention of something germane, especially on this security. With due respect to our president, the first responsibility is supposed to address in this country is security. All this movement is going to abroad. You see, unless an insane person will move to Nigeria to come and establish, based on the platform we are now, especially on security. What makes food not available in the market? It's because our farmer is not able to go to the farm. Don't the last regime, President Muhammadu Buhari, he allowed the herdsmen to be carrying AK-47 without killing our farmers. So the consequence is what we are seeing now. So I expect that President Bola Tinubu to address first of all on security, which is very issue. These people will kidnap and go to the bush. What kind of bush? Nigerian bush? We have military, they cannot go after them. School children. So please, Mr. President, address the issue of security. If the need be, get reinforcement from abroad so that we can have peace. Have a nice day.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Comrade Steve Aluko, I will read a couple of messages and then, of course, you respond to some of the issues that have been raised in the comments. We've really pressed for time, but let's do this as quick as possible. Okay, this one says, you've done well. Buhari comments, Tinubu, this is coming from Ebilade Ambo, and it says, after reading this headline, I asked myself whether it is wise to accept commendations from the head of a disastrous government who considered his administration as a huge success. Unless we want to be economical with the truth, the Buhari administration made Tinubu's job extremely difficult. Awonia Akinwale Emi saying this man is saying nothing but the truth. The fact is, if they kidnapped their own family members, definitely they will work on how to rescue them ASAP. May we not be victim of kidnappings or evil occurrences. Richard Egbita is also texting and he says accountability is key. Comrade Steve Aluko, I will have about 3 minutes to say our goodbyes on the show. What are you giving us to hold on to, Comrade Steve Aluko, as we continue to hope that the government at the federal level and even at the subnational level also will live up to their responsibilities?
First and foremost, the essence of state apparatus is to be the strong man defending everybody. And the book of Mark 3:27 says it. And now make sure that there's no inflation and how to tackle some of these perennial problems. It's very, very important. And then let the government listen to what one of the contributors says. Pick money. Use it to buy agricultural input and implement. Let's have it enough for people to go to farm. But if you need it, get grains product wherever you can get it and force inflation to come down. All this money they are throwing around, get it as a medium, short term, but the long term implication is let's get farming into the only way the government will say they are not the one that sent that man. It's for them. So the only way the state can exonerate himself is by arresting that imam that say they should kill Iloureni and then make sure they prosecute that person. It's as simple as that. Otherwise, they are part of the state machination to promote the divide and rule tactic.
Thank you.
Saying it all, let all of us give it to God and do everything possible to make sure we repent of our own evil ways.
Comrade Steve Aluko, thank you so much for finding time to join us on the show today. We've held you here for about 2 hours. Thank you for spending time with us on the show today. And I hope that, I'm always sure that each time we reach out, you would always, respond to the need to speak to Nigerians. Thank you very much once again.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Comrade Steve Aluko is the executive director of the civil society organizations of Nigeria, represented the CLOs and the CSOs as the last national conference in Abuja. Well, this is about the size of the package on the show today, but I want to send a very big birthday shout out to my friend, Engineer Ladipupo Ajiniran. We call him Slim. Happy birthday to you. It's a big one for you. More life, more love, and of course more prosperity for you. Well, I'll be back tomorrow. Gospel in our live 4 o'clock. Myself and Barrister Adams at how we look into the conversation around the alleged Senator Abdul. We'll focus on that tomorrow and so much more. The full bulletin comes through in the next couple of seconds, and by 6 o'clock